Today's May 3rd, 2017, and John, I'm looking at the Yahoo News, and I see that the United States Air Force tested and launched an unmanned intercontinental ballistic missile from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. What do you think?
Is that base?
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
Well, it's in your book. That's why you're thinking it.
I know, that Elon Musk
Your book by Ashley Vance. Elon Musk. Great book.
I think everybody should have to read that book. Like, kids should read that, and they should have to read the Wright brothers' book. Because they're just so informative about the human spirit and, you know, American spirit. And what reminded me was they went out there to do their test, and the government was giving them, like, kind of stalling them off. And then, I don't know if you remember this, they went down the Kwajalein to do their tests for the rockets that Elon Musk is doing. So, funny how that works.
Kind of funny how that works, yeah. But I agree. I would throw in there maybe the Shoe Dog Millionaire, or not Shoe Dog Millionaire.
That's another
Shoe Dog.
One. Absolutely.
Yep, because, and all of those books, as well as Walter Isaacson's great book on jobs, you know, it's warts and all. It's not putting these guys up on a pedestal, although you will be hard-pressed not to be taken with any of those characters, from the Wright brothers book to the Elon Musk book. You know, there's some pretty much hard work and genius on display, but it's not hero worship. That is not what it's about.
Hard work, failure, you know, all those things. Okay, so that's the audio book. I was on the train yesterday because it was raining. That's why I was listening to the book. Saw a little thing pop up with the French election. The debate is tonight. Actually, it's probably going on in a couple hours here, 3-4 hours from now. I guess they have to eat dinner first in France and then decide.
And you know, Andrew, we did have some pretty unusual activity in a French stock.
I saw that on
CRTO. Yeah. The ADR for this company trades in our country. And get this. This is how it's kind of funny, Andrew. French-based company specializing in digital performance marketing. Some of their solutions include learning algorithms such as prediction, recommendation, bidding formats, and display advertising banners. Okay, we all get kind of that. Check it out. You see where they're based in Paris and blah, blah, blah. Now, year to date, the stock is up 31, or was up 33%. Now it's up 30% year to date. Why? Because it's down about 3% today. And somebody came in there and just bought a big load of puts. And this thing normally trades, by the way, the symbol CRTO, which in French, Andrew, is crème, ratatouille, Toulouse, and original.
Yes, we have to give.
If we use French
French call letters. So
French military call letters.
Wait a second. So the C is what now?
The C is crème.
Like crème
brulee. Ratatouille.
Like the rat. Like the rat that cooks in cartoons.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we using
then
for
Toulouse,
T?
Toulouse, like Toulouse-Lautrec.
Oh.
The
artist.
Small in stature artiste.
And what are we doing with O?
From Moulin Rouge. And then original.
Oh, you like that word.
Just O for original.
Original.
Sort of like our podcasts are original.
All right, so CRTO, that's an interesting find. What activity are you seeing in it?
They were buying puts out in July at the 50 strike. Now, the stock was 55 when they were doing this, so that's interesting. They're buying, 10% out of the money, $5 out of the money puts, and paying about $1.60 for them. They traded 6,000 of them. You know how many puts they traded in the whole month of April, Andrew?
0.
900.
900.
And they traded 6,000 in one print today.
So what's
So to me, that says somebody is either smart and just protecting gains, because like I say, it's up 30% on the year so far. So in other words, the beginning of this year, the stock was 40. Now it's 53.5 after the fall that it's taken in the last few hours. And I think they're buying these as an election play, as kind of a both protection against gains they've got in the stock, and maybe that if they get the kind of wrong result, at least the way the markets are looking at it, that this thing could easily get into the mid-40s again.
I wonder if any.
That's my take on it.
I wonder if any of our listeners know the French word for like jiggy or unusual, or like
unusual activity.
Yeah, like there's probably like a French word just for like sinister of. I don't want to say sinister, but unusual activity and input on this. So if you know your French, post it in the comments on what
Please.
you would call that, because I'm sure there's a word out there.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? What is this? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Huh.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
From the okay. So what else do we got?
Well, I got two daughters that speak French, so maybe I should be picking it up better.
Yes, as long as they're not doing qu'est-ce que c'est behind your back, unusual
That's right.
activity.
What is this? Unusual activity, eh?
You say you go to the library, but you're not there.
So, by the way, Andrew was up at the Upper East Side yesterday.
I saw that.
Took my cigar for a walk. I think I sent you pictures.
I know. Looked like a nice day.
It was a nice day. And I only do that about once every month or two. Not go to the Upper East Side. I do that more often, but I mean, smoke a cigar. They're good, but I don't want to get in the habit of having those like everyday kind of thing. So I discipline myself once every month or two. But it was a nice one. It was an Armenian cigar, an Avo Cigars.
Really? Armenians make cigars?
Yeah. Heck yeah. Avo's the man.
Avo. But they don't get the tobacco.
Avo
They don't get
Cigars.
the tobacco from Armenia, do they?
No, these are like Dominicans usually, but Avo owns a company. Two of the best cigar makers in the world are Armenian.
All right, so you're up there. Did you eat at that restaurant?
I did, up at Antonucci. It was fantastic.
Fantastic.
To extend our French stuff.
Yes. I bought some more AMD today. I jumped back in. I didn't jump back in. I added more, and I'm doing.
I did too.
And I'm doing okay with it. I just
I sold puts in TWLO today. TWLO, TWLO, Andrew. That stock was decimated. Uber's going to be cutting back. The stock's already $2 off the bottom though, so I'm making money on the put sales there. And I sold puts on Akamai as well. And Steve Weiss joined me selling puts. In fact, he sold them before I did, the puts.
Yeah, that's right. I heard him say that.
He made a nice trade. Yep, he made a nice trade. And then he got back in after he took some profits. So that's where we stand with that.
Okay. And you were pretty right on that Apple call. It really didn't move much. The straddle?
That it was so strange. When was the last time you remember seeing it that tight? Because I can't remember seeing it that tight, but sure enough it was. And I still love their numbers though, Andrew. Watch sales up double this time last year, even though nobody has one, right? But the sales are up double. Obviously, people are buying those things. The iCloud and Apple Music numbers were up double digits. The revenue at the App Store was up 40%. And the installed base was up double digits. And that's an installed base, that's basically 1 billion. So if you're up double digits, you're talking, when you're 900 and some odd million devices, you got to put up 100 million to get there. That's a pretty good jump. That's what they've done.
What was even more interesting was that conversation between Jim Cramer and the analyst from, was it Bernstein? The guy that was on your show?
Tony Sacconaghi.
What was up with that? I mean, my personal opinion, I don't want, you don't have to say if you don't. Kramer kind of slammed him as far as like.
Oh yeah, he deserved it though. I mean, the guy went and said it's fully priced at 97.
Yeah, 93.
And now he's
93, I think.
Now he's or 93, and now he's like waving the flag up here at 147. He said, back in my hedge fund days, I'd be telling you, what for.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was kind of an interesting exchange, as Wapner said. Well, I'll leave it at that.
It was, and it got the conversation moving, and it actually got the stock. The stock rallied all the way back to unchanged. It was down $2.50 at the beginning of the day. It was down $1.50 or $1.60 when they came on, and then it rallied all the way back to unchanged. So they won over some people with the argument, I guess.
You remember my cost, right?
Yeah, I know. I love it.
1989 because of Taylor Swift. So I had bought it 89 for no other reason than that. So yeah, and I'm still holding. All right, so let's leave it at that. And your Armenian cigars. Yeah,
won't have another one of those for another couple of months, but they're good. Remember, folks, you can always check out the podcasts on iTunes or on YouTube. We do appreciate and encourage you to ask questions. You can do it right there on the site under the comments, or you can direct them to Andrew or me on Twitter. And please tell a friend about it. Again, iTunes or YouTube, and tell a friend about the podcast.